All right, all right, all right. QMedia Nation, we are live with you right now. This is going to be rebroadcasted on a couple of other platforms, namely www.theblock105.com and, of course, SoCal Radio. We want to invite many of you to give me a call, 551 207 1327. We always say we are your source for independent thought, politics, money, music, and life. I knew I had to put something out for our audiences across the various platforms because we have been giving you reruns of shows because we want to take you back a little bit in terms of what kind of content we have already been providing, but also to let you know that we are committed. When I say committed, I mean we've been doing this since 1988 and we're not about to stop. As many of you know, one of our most premier women in the journalism field, the broadcast journalism field, she is being let go from MSNBC. We know Joy Reid. I want to call her Dr. Reid for so many reasons because she has doctored us, our communities across the board, whether you are of any racial persuasion. We know that this woman has stood on the front lines of the best of news stories that very few will ever cover. If any light is shed whatsoever, we are definitely missing her voice in the larger arena of broadcast journalism. So I want to open up this particular show with my thoughts on Joy Ann Reid, who it has now been decided that she will no longer be a part of the MSNBC team. Now, last night I was interested in and was convinced thoroughly to join the call last night where 22,000 of us were on Zoom Sunday night on the 23rd of February. 22,000 of us were on Zoom to galvanize, to rally around, to be a part of what we know absolutely without a shadow of a doubt that this woman is being let go because of her not just political views, but her understanding of how to deliver the news to the people who are most affected by the changes that are happening within America. And also to the international community who lives here, to those who have been from other places, who have made America now their home, are being greatly affected. And so for all of us in this diaspora, we are calling on you to make a choice. We are calling on you to make a choice. What do I mean by make a choice? It is the facts that we must support independent radio. We must support independent broadcast journalism. We must, as content creators, have a clarion call because we say that this particular show, QMedia Nation, we are your source for independent thought, politics, money, music, and life. I am Sister Falana, and this is an exclusive because normally I have my sister, my best friend, my confidant, Miss Tonier. But I needed to get on here and really make the statement that we must support the effort because tonight, by the time this show airs on the block105.com, there will be other news that will surface because of this. But tonight, we are asking for our YouTube family, as I spread this word out and this link out, to support in a little less than an hour from now, to support Joy Ann Reid's show for the last time. She will be taking it center stage for us at 7 o'clock. So everyone should be glued in front of the TV, and then DVR it so that it gets its viewership up. And so they said that they let her go because of ratings. And many times when you're let go from a job or something of that nature, they always say it was something that you did to make sure that you were no longer a part of that family, no longer a part of that company, whatever it may be. And you could be getting awards like she has done, NAACP awards. She has many, many accolades in the broadcast journalism world and abroad, and a broad stroke of positive reviews. And so, as a person who is also a content creator, a broadcast journalism, I've been in radio since 1988. And so, as an independent mind and an independent thought processor, it is absolutely necessary for us to rally around, to be a part of, to take inventory of, because as she goes, so many of us are going too. So I want to make sure that we understand what we're up against as independent thinkers and as independent content creators, that even though you use the platform of those who may not have your best interest at heart, we know that it is absolutely a time for us to create our own platforms and to support those platforms so that we have our voices heard without compromise. So this particular segment is being dedicated to all of us who are out there, who are making strides and making our footprint really felt in the journalism world, in the content creation world, because we have to make a statement. There was a time when we had no choices. It was segregation in this country, and if you were Black, you had to absolutely follow the rules. And if you were kind of Black, you may have gotten a pass to go into some areas that other people were in. But if you had all of the freedom that you wanted to because you were white, then you had no restrictions whatsoever. And there were those who were allies, who absolutely stood with the Black community, but at all costs could go into another community and be in the beneficial world. But there was also a serious beneficial world, because so many others from other communities wanted to encroach upon the world of Blackness in all of its different ways, whether it was in healthcare, whether it was in school, whether it was, like I said, education, politics, so forth and so on. So we've always had this precarious relationship while here in America, but at the same time making extreme strides. No matter what is thrown at us or thrown on us, or we're upheaved from, or we've been tossed around and given the short end of the stick, no matter what it has been, we've always seen a way to galvanize the community, heal our wounds among ourselves and with allies, but also to come out shining and with solutions. And so from here, the QMedia Nation show, we started in Japan, in Shizuoka, Japan, in a very small place. And then we came back to America expecting a different view, a different understanding, a different way of life, a different way to get our message out to the masses. And so we created this show for just that purpose, to make sure that people who were misrepresented and underserved certainly had an opportunity to not only get their music out, not only talk about their business, not only to talk about their own political persuasion or news that was in the community, no matter where you're from. I'm in New Jersey, but there is news going on around us everywhere. And this is before the advent of the internet in its full-blown status that we see now, where many platforms are allowing content creators like us to have a seat at the World Wide Web table. And so we want to implore many of you who are thinking of, or if you even have a social media page, let us know who you are. Let us come into an arena where we are a unified front, so that voices like mine, voices like yours that want to be heard are allowed to be heard to the audiences that need to hear them. So I'm going to play for you a little bit of, and I'm going to continuously play this particular little commercial, because I want you all to understand that it does take money, but it also takes mind. It takes mind over matter, that you matter. And your mind, the circumstances that you're in, it doesn't matter what those are. As long as your mind is willing to be changed and to grow and to go beyond where you are today, there's opportunities for you all over the internet and all over where we stand. So I'm going to come back in a couple of minutes. I'm going to give you a couple of commercials, and then, we're going to get into this a little bit. So we'll be back with you in just a moment.
Peace and blessings. This is Sister Falana coming to you live and direct from the Inglewood, New Jersey, home of the QMedia Nation Studios. We are right here for you as we are presenting to you our hip-hop documentary, all about Jersey artists. To get on with us, you can reach out to us at 201-500-5087, or you can email us your material at qmag201@gmail.com. But we also have the premiere issue of the Communicator magazine. So to get on with us for the documentary or the magazine, you're more than welcome to hit us at 201-500-5087 or qmag201@gmail.com. I'm Sister Falana, and we're ready to document your story. Peace and blessings.
All right. And that is one of the other outlets that we do have. We are putting together a documentary in regards to Jersey hip hop. We've since had to change the title. So if you are a Jersey artist or are from New Jersey and could potentially be somewhere else, we want to get your material and of course, expose it on this show. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we also open it up for you to be a part of the documentary. It's going to be in several parts so that we have an opportunity to cover some real territory. If you are an old school artist, as they say, we want to make sure that we get you on. And if you are a new artist, if you were thinking of artists, if you're an artist from Jersey that speaks another language, or you do your music in another language, or a different type of feel or tune or dance or anything of that nature, we are opening up everything that we can to showcase hip hop in its most beautiful form. And that is from the heart. So I'm Sister Falana, as you see on the screen, if those of you who are watching on YouTube, and for those of you who are listening in the radio audience, you can always get in touch with me, 551-207-1327. I'm also going to put the banners up for those who need to know more about the show and what we do. Again, I always say we are your source for independent thought, politics, money, music, and life. I serve right on this show along with Ms. Tonier, and we have guests that will be coming through the studio, through the online studio. And of course, I would not be here had it not been for the inspiration to restart in the same vein that I had once served. And that is our dear brother who now has transitioned. He transitioned April 11th, 2020, due to the COVID virus and complications with the COVID virus. And that brother Abdul, Dr. Abdul Hafiz Muhammad, was also my minister and also was a major force in the great city of New York and the Eastern region for the Nation of Islam. And for all of us who feel that we are underserved or misrepresented, this brother really did a lot of work. I'm not even doing it any justice, just talking about it in the few minutes that we do have together. But for the next 45 minutes, I am going to give you all some of the flavor that we have from the QMedia Nation. I'm not going to make it so strange and tight jacketed, but I want you to see that we really live by what we say, which is we are your source for independent thought, politics, money, music, and life. So if that sounds like something that you want to be a part of, if it sounds like something that you would like to make sure to involve yourself in, we want to make sure that we leave room open for you, because this is the Q Media Nation family. We are really truly serving the masses of people, and we make it affordable for you. We make sure that the connections that we do have to the larger industry or to those who are in our local industry, we make sure you have the seat at the table, not as the background, but as clearly the foreground, and actually be a part of it. We went the other day in Rutherford, New Jersey, to the Williams Theater. Great theater. For those of you who are looking for resources, especially in Northern New Jersey, I would say go to the Williams Theater, the Williams Center in Rutherford, New Jersey, downtown. Look them up. When I say they have this thing absolutely mapped out, we put some things on our Instagram page, a little video that we put out there Sunday, so that you could see kind of the background of things, because they did a house party downstairs and it was a hip hop party upstairs. But there's also a record store there, Soledad Records, but that also have a radio show across the street from where we were, networking and everything. And so I want to say to you that the resources are there. It's just that we have not connected properly or networked properly to make sure that you have places to go. You have places to perform. You may have places to do your content creation. So we make those resources available. We make sure that people know where to go, but also who have an answer and a solution to the problems or to the direction in which you want to go for your particular brand. So we talked about that, and that's an upcoming show that we are going to put out, I believe, next week, where I say we brought Mr. ADM, Mr. Admonish, into the studio, who is one of the most clever business minds that we have amongst us in the independent world. We started out as artists, and in doing so, we also created an opportunity for us to grow and to show what that growth means when we develop together. Like, no one's in competition with each other. You should always be in competition with yourself. And as you are competing with yourself, it means you are bringing out the best of yourself. So last year's music may not appeal to everyone, but if you put your heart and soul, your talent, your time, your everything into this, then there should be no reason why you are not internally happy to have produced the best that you could from yourself. Now, when you've created the best from yourself, now comes the marketing. Now comes the selling part of it. How you sell yourself to the audiences that you're trying to capture, so that you can develop the kind of career that will not just pay you this one time, but look at a Lauryn Hill. One album has sustained her. I mean, one solo album. Of course, she was with the Fugees, but one solo album, she's been able to do shows after shows, and this is a 30-year span. So I'm saying, Q Media Nation, the ball is in your hand. It's how we network and how we create spaces that serve us rather than try to steal it and try to throw us away. That has gone on in the industry for as long as the industry has been here, to take your talent, as I heard last night someone say, colonize your ideas and make it into something that it is really truly not. And so with this show, we try to make sure that, and I'm not saying we're 100% perfect, we're not. But what we do from this show is give you the resources so that you can go on your own, Or if you bring us on as consultants, we're able to help you to get the resources and really map out a plan for you and put that plan into action. And so we've made those relationships solid over these years, over these 30 plus years. The relationships are so solid until we have opportunities for you to be on the larger labels, to have the sit down talks with labels, if that's what your idea is. If you want to market yourself better, increase your numbers, you sit in the driver's seat of your career and your life. So why not support yourself when others are supporting you to the point where we're shouting you out? I mean, Saturday night, we were in a place, and I was not only inside of this place, but I was also in another forum at the same time because I had the freedom to do so. And as I'm talking to people and I'm really looking at them and I'm really handing out little flyers for the movie, for the documentary, I'm seeing so much talent in this one room, from DJs to and I mean, the record store was absolutely mind-boggling because there were records and CDs, something that you don't even see hardly anymore. But you're also seeing videographers. You're also seeing, of course, content creators. You're also seeing a space to work out in that you could have for yourself. And this is all over the place. There are people that are creating event spaces for people to rent out for not just a birthday or a wedding shower or a bridal shower or any type of party, anything. But they're also making it a space where you BYOB, bring your own bottle, bring your own whatever, and let's just have a good time in one another's company. And so these are the spaces that are being created. These are the spaces that are opening up. For me, I was able to connect with our local Elks lodges and our Masonic lodges in the community, who almost seem like they are in the dust, or that they're waning, or that many of the lodges, temples are closing because people are not utilizing them, but they're also not joining them so that they can clean the space up. And also, by being a member, you open up, oh my God, you open up yourself to the membership. I will tell you that the IBPOE, look that up because I'm limited on time. IBPOE of W. Now that's Black. It's different from IBPOE, but IBPOE W of W. Okay. The Improved, Benevolent, and Protective Order of Elks of the World. I wasn't going to give it to you, but I will, for the sake of making sure that you understand the difference between the white elks, the Black elks. But I will tell you, a lot of the Black elks are graying and getting older, and there are not a lot of younger members joining. In some places they may be, but where we are, there are not a lot of young people joining because they're not seeing the value and the potential of their membership being a part of a larger group of people other than your own, other than your smaller networks. IBPOE of W is 500,000 people strong. Now imagine if you had a small percentage of as a member, having access to a small percentage of people where conferences are being held and you could potentially perform, where you're also renting out the place to have your own at a discount, right? Renting it out to have your own shows and incorporating other people. And for those who are in the business world, since we're so under attack by the larger community in terms of employment and being let go from federal jobs, and this is across the board. You don't have to be Black to be losing a job today. It could be just that your politics are just not what's in alignment with the agenda for today. But imagine having that kind of space where Black businesses, brown businesses, underserved communities have a place to bring your wares, bring your talent, and be able to have a ready-made place for the audiences or for the kind of clients or customers that you need to support what you are doing. So membership is very, very important, especially at this time. Also, your Masonic lodges. I know there are people who say, oh, I'm Christian. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in that. But I will tell you, there's another reason for that as well. And those Masonic lodges have a lot of pull, especially in the political world. Again, let's move on. Some of our D9s, D9 organizations, very, very valuable. And there are people that say, I left the D9, I don't want to have anything to do with it. Well, if you're in church, there's the Baptist convention. Imagine you going to a convention or getting with the churches in your area and providing a space for all of the talent in the various churches. We used to do it as young people. We had the first of the month, that first Sunday night of every month, we had a traveling service as a youth. And we knew who was in the community, and we utilized one another's space, because there was a time when all you had was the space that you were in. You couldn't go outside the community. And we've gotten away from it because we've been able to, so to speak, fraternize with the rest of the folk. But then you left the door open for your thing and abandoned it. Not only just left the door open, but completely abandoned it, because we just lost focus. And so I feel like the focus is coming back, and we are doing a tremendous amount of things to have what we need to have and to do what we need to do. So what I'm asking for is for people to really and truly take note of things, really come in and be a part of the movement in music, the movement in the independent world of music, but also the independent minds that we need to make sure that we are representing ourselves, and of course, making sure that we stand up. We have to stand up for ourselves, because who else? Other people are saying, no, I can't get with that. No, I'm not about that life. No, I can't do this. No, I can't. We're talking about all the things we can't do, when we absolutely have access to do everything that we could possibly do. So I cannot state it any how they say emphatically. I cannot stress the point home of what we need to do for ourselves, because too long we allow things to go on so long until we lose it. And then when we lose it, we're like, how could I have left it? Because you left the door open, because you didn't want to make the change that needed to be made, which is change your mind about who you are so that you could get yourself out there. If you need therapy to figure out who in the world you are, go get it. Unleash your talent. You were given it by God to share with the rest of the world. For those of you who study the life of Jesus, I don't want to get too religious about it, but I'm just using it as an example, had a God-given talent to galvanize people and to bring them to an understanding, and proliferated that message throughout the world. And most of the people who write his story were there or got it from other people who then printed the story to make it available to us today. So much time has lapsed. And so if there's no other example available to you but that, get on your own talent search of self. and then go and get with the people that you can network with, like myself and others, so that we could get the talent out there. And I didn't lose the point of going back to our sister Joy and Reed, because we all have to start somewhere and network so that we can grow and go into spaces that we wouldn't particularly be in. So this may be a small show of millions of shows, but we make our mark because people are still asking us, play my music. Let me come on your show. Give me a guest spot. Let me see how I can make it happen, because they need to get their voice out to audiences. So I'm going to introduce you all to an artist, Admonish, because he absolutely, this is the person that you all will be hearing from next week specifically. But I'm going to premiere the video right now, and then we'll be back in a couple of moments so that you all can see what we've been doing here at QMedia to make things really happen for others.
Admonish music chosen.
The sunshine and the orange jacket lining, hot up butcher bombing, salt and pepper scribing, adobo when I'm driving, I'm out here just vibing, you out here straight lying, all possibilities, metaphors and similes, it's all gimmicky, visually, trickery, you must be sick of me, cause you pause when you're next to me, trying to get the flex on me, definitely, boy, there's no need for the weaponry. Though they all tried, not a rest by the side of the highway, trying to get by. Rob Peter to get poor, standing on the store, watch your shit fall out your mouth while you talk. Can't nobody hear you, nor do they believe you. Acting like your cars and your juice make it believable. Non-cipher, no receivables, your debit ain't achievable. You might as well do the inconceivable. These modern bars, poor house by far. J'en parle pas, Francois, Mansoir. Dig me if you're feeling me. Ride my delivery, roller coaster lyrically. New York livery, Uber with the cab, down payment on the slab. Acre and a half, a crib and a lab. 2 horses and a cat. You could call me Ad, the deposit and a half. To get a track, my points on top of that. 2 weeks and a half, I'm back on my shaft, talking all that trash. You can have it back, I'm all for that. Yeah, the boy did the track and he wrote all his raps.
Hey yo, I just felt like putting the pen to the pad. It's always a chosen affair. Admonish music. Delory Enterprises. We just vibing. Just vibing. Just vibing. Your boy did the track and he wrote his raps. Wrote his raps and he did the track. Your boy did the track and he wrote his raps.
All right. That's Mr. Admonish. You all know him, or you will get to know him very, very soon. So again, we absolutely make this studio available to everyone who wants to be a part of the movement, who want to take their talent to the next level. We're going to, if you have videos, please, by all means, bring them on. We broadcast not only on YouTube, but on the Block 105 and a couple of other spots that we're going to be debuting with our audience. But in the meantime and in between time, let's not lose focus on what we are really here to do. And that is to make the independent community of artists shine. So I'm going to play that other commercial for you too, because I'm never, ever going to give up on us. We are some bad mamma jammers when we get ready. So I'm going to put this out here again because some of you may be just tuning in. So I'm going to play this little clip for you again. Get on board. QMedia Nation. We're here.
Peace and blessings. This is Sister Falana coming to you live and direct from the Inglewood, New Jersey, home of the QMedia Nation Studios. We are right here for you as we are presenting to you our hip-hop documentary, all about Jersey artists. To get on with us, you can reach out to us at 201-500-5087, or you can email us your material at qmag201@gmail.com. But we also have the premiere issue of the Communicator magazine. So to get on with us for the documentary or the magazine, you're more than welcome to hit us at 201-500-5087 or qmag201@gmail.com. I'm Sister Falana, and we're ready to document your story. Peace and blessings.
Yep. So that's what I'm telling you all. This is the place to do it. If you're looking for an opportunity, I'm telling you, when I say Q Media Nation, that's exactly what I mean. We are a nation of millions who are not turning back. And I take that from Public Enemy. That was one of the top groups that I absolutely loved. I had a show. It used to be Saturday nights from midnight into Sunday morning. It was Sunday mornings, actually. Midnight to 6 a.m. I had a show. And I'm telling you, from the time I started until the show ended, it was nothing but Public Enemy and any other independent voice that was out there. I was making sure. I'm telling you, we were playing records. I had 3 turntables that we just played music, and I've been doing the same show from forever. And I want to make sure that you all understand. And we took that show to Japan, and we serviced the clubs. I was riding a bicycle going from club to club. Who's playing hip hop? Who's playing hip hop? Who's playing hip hop? And I just made my rounds, and I would get on the train. If I found out about somebody else club, the Japanese folk, I was getting on a train, taking my little meager salary, getting on a train and going, whether it was bullet train or the local train for the prefecture or that county, just going and doing it independently. And now I'm at a point where on Sunday nights and on Monday nights and my affiliations with the various groups in my community, I'm learning to grow beyond what I know and get with other people. So my point with all of this is get out of your own way. Network with people. You don't have to go home with them, because many of us get it mixed up and we get it twisted. Oh, I got to be in somebody's house. Oh, I got to go to everything that they do. We're not here to kiss each other's behind. But what we are here to do is to network on an equal footing as another person. Don't compromise yourself because somebody has a few more dollars than you do. Go get a job. Go get 2 or 3 jobs. Go get several jobs. Get you a business. And you all will hear this in coming shows. What I do to make what I make happen, because I love my freedom and I love to network with people. And yes, do we get shunned for a lot of stuff? Yes. Do we get misrepresented? Yes. Do we get kicked out? Yes. All of those things happen. But guess what? I never stopped believing that Q Media Nation is real. I never not believe in Q Media Nation. And that's what makes all the difference for us. A lot of this is independently done, independently produced. Sometimes I'm here by myself. Sometimes I have a room full of people. But whether I have them or not, and sometimes we're on platforms, we be on there for 2 weeks or 5 weeks, and we don't have it anymore. However, what we do have is content. And we may edit it for another period of time, like you all have been hearing on the block. But then we come back out swinging and doing the things that need to be done so that we make you a priority. That's what's important. You're not a shelf project here. We're not putting you on a shelf waiting for, the right moment, the right time, the right team, all that. If you are your own team and you just need a little push in another direction, like we have the charts, If you're an independent artist and your music is charting or your music is already registered, we have independent charts that can get your music to actual DJs from the largest stations, from the terrestrial stations, from the internet stations. If you need to be on college radio, we have the resources to help you to do that. We introduce you to those folks. If you need to be on the larger labels, get with us. But we also make sure that our feet are on the ground too, making sure that we make the community come together. Again, we're your source for independent thought, politics, money, music, life. Because life has its crazy twists and turns. But the most important thing you can understand is, as you're twisting and turning, there are other people that are twisting and turning. And some of them are going to come across your path, some good, some not so good. That's for you to find out. But take yourself more serious than you ever have, especially in this climate that we're in. Because there will be other Joy-Ann Reeds who are on popular TV, who are given the platform, who are standing on the shoulders of many, given an opportunity, and they'll let them go for one reason or another. It happens. So we have about, when this show broadcasts, it will be over by then. However, on the live right now, we have about 20 minutes before we all turn our TVs on at 7, and then we right off at 8 o'clock. We're done. Because we have to make people know how serious we are about supporting the initiatives, the people, the ideas, the issues. We're very serious. Yes, we can entertain all day long. Civil rights movement. They were entertainers. They entertained, they sang, they danced, they told jokes. Dick Gregory told jokes, but was there for the March on Washington. Aretha Franklin helped to finance many of Dr. King's marches or initiatives. So I'm not just saying this as a blanketed black thing. I could say a white person. One of the greatest artists that I love, may God be pleased with the work that he's done on this earth to help move the platform and the program forward, was Tony Bennett, Italian. Okay, so we're not just talking about exclusively black, but we are talking about a community that has to keep on fighting just to be relevant, and that's terrible. When I've lived in a country of Japan, where the person's first name comes last and their last name is first, because you're representing your family every time you go out and face the world. And so education is more important than entertainment, where educators are paid top dollar, and your entertainer, yeah, they get the flash and the flame, but they flash and fame, but they are never, ever, ever disavowing their country, their existence, their culture, just for money. It's here in America where we're told to sacrifice ourselves for a career that only has a limited amount of time. And many of those entertainers are losing their lives because they have not gotten grounded in their own community. And whatever that grounding is for them has been a fleeting moment. I remember when Tupac was killed, and we had a meeting in New York City where all the rappers and all the producers and everybody was connected in the industry. At that time, it wasn't so much broadcast journalism like it is content creating now, but it was the magazines, the Source magazine and Vibe magazine, and all of these representatives were all in one room. We were in an auditorium. And it was at a time when we were given an opportunity to connect with each other, and it was various speakers. And one of the key speakers that day was the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who absolutely has the ear to the streets, but also can speak the language of the folk who really need to hear it. And so I remember at this particular thing, because I was one of the videographers for this meeting. Of course, that was 1996. And we had this meeting, and the only person that was not at this meeting was Biggie, only to have him be murdered a few months later. But had we had more of a sense of less competition with one another and more comprehension of let's do what we came to do, which is give of our talent so that we could release more funds and be on a bigger platform. But then after we go home, learn how to use those dollars for our community. Take, for instance, the jazz artists who still gave back. We're talking about even so much as a Joe Louis, who lived right next door to the regular people because didn't have access to other places. But now we're so exclusive with each other until we exclude each other. And so from this show, yes, I've been in some really, really highfalutin type meetings and meeting people and being involved. But I very rarely put those pictures online because I don't want it to be like I'm fame chasing, because I'm chasing you, the independent person who's saying, yo, nobody's listening to me. I don't know if I have it. I only have 100 followers, and I'm following 5,000 people, but I only have 100. We got to help you increase that number. Maybe you need a bigger platform for what you're doing and what you're saying and how you're living. Maybe you have a product or a service that no one's listening to. I have another business. My business is in the world of finance. I have a life insurance license, but I'm also working on my securities license because wealth creation is very important to me. At the end of all of this, if you take those twos and fews checks and you're living paycheck to paycheck, but you spend so much on a weekend so that you can shake it and don't make it and don't break it, all of those kind of things like that, put some to the side because you never know what can happen to you. I have a buddy who you all will meet on the show. He'll tell you his story. Manager to some of the greatest people in entertainment. He ended up falling off of a stage and was, of course, if you fell off a stage, a high stage, you absolutely would be hurt. But he's absolutely able to continuously live his life because there's some sense of savings and there's some help and there's some initiatives and some programs for him to be involved in. But that's what I'm saying to you. While your career is building and growing and you may be working your 9 to 5 or your 11 to 7 or your 3 to 11 or whatever job you may have, and maybe you have any job at all. Maybe you're receiving, some type of benefit or stipend. Take a little piece of that, put it away for yourself so that you have access to it because you've been able to help it to grow. And I'm editing a show right now where we're going to talk about that, about wealth creation. In one of the worst communities to get their wealth on as a group, we're going to speak directly to you because now is the time. If you've never, ever, ever felt like you were disenfranchised in America and you weren't a part of the civil rights movement, you weren't even aware of it, you weren't awake for it, either you weren't in this country for it, you only saw it on Eyes on the Prize or some PBS special, or if you were too young, you weren't born yet, or you were only 2 or 3 years old, or you might have been 12 and you might have done this, that, and the other thing. And then all of a sudden they, segregation ended and you're now in the limelight of integration. We still have work to do as an industry. So this show is that kind of show where we go into those different areas, never forgetting that at our base is our entertainment, absolutely. But we are so much more than the talent that couples with the music. You may be a writer and you have your book to put out. This is the place to come to. We have resources. I'm in the process of doing my own, and it's affordable, because many people are thinking, I can't afford that. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't. Stop saying can't. Think bigger of yourself. Reach down within. Pull out the talent that you have, because there's so many people waiting for you, wanting you. If the internet didn't show us anything else, Instagram, you might have 100 people and you're following 5,000. But just know that those 100 who are connected to you are going to see your content. And the fact that Instagram, I love Instagram, but there's so many others. There's TikTok and, so many other places. But when I look at that, I look at it as my phone is not just my source to just talk to people and to listen and make phone calls and get phone calls, but I'm looking at other content and getting ideas and connecting with people to help me take the vision of QMedia to the next level. Think big. There's a book, it's by David Schwartz. It's called The Magic of Thinking Big. You need to get that book and expand your mind. Start listening to YouTube videos instead of all the craziness with videos and just putting up your stuff. Get with some of that self-development, that mind over matter type of videos, so that you can get your life back on track. I'm a professional recruiter, whether that's in the entertainment industry or in the insurance industry and then some, because insurance, you can't do anything in the world without insurance. That's the biggest business in the world is insurance, aside from real estate. And I'm in both. So I'm saying these things to you because of Warren Buffett. He's in real estate and doing all his things and a hedge fund and all, but he started out in insurance. So I'm saying to you, while you're putting that career together and you're looking for money to add to your project, think about getting a license. Call me up, 551-207-1327. If I don't know who you are, please send me a text. I do text a lot, 551-207-1327. I'm going to put it on the I'm going to put it on the line. I'm going to put it on the screen. But for those of you who are not on the screen, I'm putting it up, but I'm also shouting it out. QMedia Nation, 551-207-1327. To get on the documentary, it is 201-500-5087. And I also have a Cash App at QMedia Nation, the QMedia Nation on Cash App. For all of our services, if you would like to know how to get involved with the services, that is actually how we get paid. If you would like to send any of your music or anything that you have that you want to send to us, is QMediaGroupUSA@gmail.com. That's QMediaGroupUSA@gmail.com. For all of you who are looking for an opportunity to be in the insurance industry, I have at 7 Figure Century Agency, and it's an underscore at the end of it. So I'm going to put that on the screen for you as well. But again, if you need to get in contact with me, by all means, hit me up. I'm putting that on the screen at 7 Figure Century Agency. That is our other business entity. And if you're looking to be a part of the QMedia Nation group on Facebook, you can look for me on Facebook. It's Kamai Muhammad 1, or either Falana Alston, Falana, and then look for Alston, Alston. If you cannot remember the Kamai.Muhammad, QUMAI.Muhammad, MUHAMMAD1, and get in the QMedia Nation group. I'm shouting these things out because we're almost at the end of the show. I didn't think that we were going to have this platform for this long to be able to do it, but we're able to have it on there. So I want you all to get serious about what you're doing as a talent. Get with us and let us help you to get where you need to go. I do have to shout out. I'm going to put it up on the screen, but I am going to shout it out for the radio audience. https://get.even B as in boy, I as in igloo, Z as in zebra, / It's https:// That is a platform for you to sell your music to get the lion's share of the business once you sell it. And it is a platform where artists can put their music on, and then the consumer, the client, the person you're trying to connect with, the audience, can pay for the album, whatever it is that they would like to pay, or if they want to donate more, they can. And so that is a platform that Admonish is using, Mr. Admonish Music. The video that I played, you can get with him on Instagram at Admonish Music, AD as in David, ADMONISH Music, Admonish Music, Admonish. And of course, to get with us on the gram, the part for the show is at QMedia Nation. So I've shouted all of those things out, and I'm really praying that a lot of you take heed to the time that we're living in. Send us your music. You see that I've played a video I've played some clips of commercials. So if you have a 30-second short and you want to send it out to me, by all means, do it. QMediaGroupUSA@gmail.com. Or if you have a video and you'd like to send that, because there are some platforms that I am on that ask for other music, and I can send that out to them. Some of them are for a fee and some of them are for free. But you can't do a free ride forever. You are going to have to pay something. If you've done nothing but just pay attention, you're going to have to pay a price too. So I'm Sister Falana. We work in tandem with other shows and with other entities. We're going to bring them to the platform, this particular platform, so that you have an opportunity to ask your questions or to be on the show with us. While we're on the air, you can call the 551-207-1327 number if you're listening to us live on our YouTube, and even after the show. You're more than welcome to text your question. We'll get it on for you, or we'll get the resource and plug you right in with them. All of this is for you. All of this was designed for you. All of this was putting you first. So I want to excite your memory. Hold it there. We are your source for independent thought, politics, money, music, and life. I am Sister Falana. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But just come on into the cipher. Come on in the room. Let us be of one accord. I love you, and I look forward to being with you on our next show. Peace and blessings.